And I think we are recording. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, world. Welcome to the 117 Kubernetes release team meeting for Monday, October 14. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Let me start off with the Kubernetes code of conduct, which pretty much boils down to please be nice to each other and don't be a jerk. With that note, let's get started. So enhancements update with Bob.
Sorry, 1 second. Now opening the agenda in the right tab.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there we go. We are currently yellow. We have actually quite a few more KEPs sort of came in from the last update. We are tracking 51 with 16 at risk, with more stable coming this release than the previous ones. We are currently at 16 alpha, 15 beta, and 20 stable. So sounds looking pretty good there. I have a breakdown of which KEPs, which enhancements are sort of still at risk. A good chunk are either don't have a KEP out there or have like a KEP PR in flight. With the amount of activity that's been going on, I already know that like I put this in there this morning and it's already out of date. So, probably by this time tomorrow we have a bit better idea of how things are going.
Okay, awesome. So 16 right now, and enhancements freeze. We have it right now for tomorrow. End of day.
5 p.m. PAT.
Mm-hmm. So right now, is there anything that you need? Is there anything that we could help the release team, the broader community to get?
I don't think so. It's mostly just people are trying to solicit reviews for their KEPs. Most of the people that do need to review it are involved. It's just it's a lot to get done in 24 hours.
Okay.
36 hours or so.
So any questions, comments, concerns? Going once?
I do actually have one last thing.
Okay.
I have, each meeting I have forgotten to call out and introduce my shadows each time.
Please do so.
I need to do that now. and I'll actually start off with Jeremy, considering you're like right next to me on the Zoom window.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Rickard, Enhancements Shadow. I work at Microsoft. Happy to be here.
And I think, who else is on at the moment?
I am Kristen Martin. So I'm back for SIG release 1.17. I was on the release notes last time and enhancements this time. Hello.
Thank you. Let's see. I don't see Anna, but Nabarun, are you around?
Hi everyone, I'm Nabarun. I'm from India. I'm new to the release team and I'm serving as the enhancement shadow this time around. So yeah, looking forward to this work. What's up?
You.
Awesome.
And sorry for always forgetting each week.
Awesome. So great. Welcome, Jeremy, Kristen, Navarone. Hope I didn't mispronounce any names. And with that, let's move on to CI Signal. Alina, do you have anything cool for us?
Okay, so for this week, I actually chose the color red. I actually started with yellow, but then I was like filling out the report and I got more and more depressed and I moved to red. So it's like red/yellow depending on my mood. So first of all, there's two jobs that are like constantly red for master blocking, which is pretty bad. So it's actually a known issue. It's there's some Boscos failure that already happened last week, and the test infra was pretty much on top of that. They actually thought that it's resolved, but like the weekend proved that it's not really resolved. So I think that once the guys wake up, I think that's gonna keep moving. So we'll keep poking that. That's like both of those jobs are affected by that failure. When it comes to master informing, there's also free failing jobs. That's actually like things that are consistently read, not really just like flaking. So first of all, first one is caused by a storage test. There was already an issue, but there wasn't that much activity, to be honest. So it was created, but there's like no one who's taking care of that. So I guess we'll need to start really like poking around for that. There's one that's actually like a SIG release issue. That's a build packages depth job. I don't have that much information about that one, but I understood it's owned by a SIG release. And
yeah.
the log. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are probably failing because of the things that I'm moving around in the K release repo right now.
Okay, cool.
They're based on build package.sh and then the make targets, which are build debs and build RPMs. That package.sh was also doing a build of the Docker container, which didn't really need to happen. So now that I'm wiring the deb and the RPM containers to build on post submit, we should be able to pull that part out of the job. Once that's pulled out of the job, it should start turning back on again. So I just need a little bit to look into that. If there is an open issue for it, you can assign it to me.
What job was that for?
Sorry, what was that?
Which job is the one that's going to be fixed after all the work?
Build debs or build RPMs or both.
Okay, thanks. Also, so you mentioned both master block in the scalability one and the GCE ingress are both failing because of Boscos?
Yeah, they're both Boscos failures. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. There's another one thing that I'm looking at this grid right now. The conformance test by OpenStack. Do you know what's going on with those?
Oh, there was. Do you mean the one in the informing or?
Yeah, master informing.
I've seen one issue with conformance. I think I've created a GitHub issue for that. I don't know anything else to that.
Okay. Could you please post the issue somewhere in the notes?
Yep, I will do that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. With that, anyone has any questions, comments for CI Signal? Going once, twice. Okay, sweet. Let's move on to the next one. And thank you very much. So, bug triage, Josiah.
Hello, bug triage here. Today is looking good. We're green. The number of issues and PRs that we're seeing is relatively stable. Last week, they'd gone up quite a bit from the week before. This week, they're pretty close to what they were last week. So we have 63 open issues, non-test flake issues. We have 3 critical urgent issues that have been around for a while. So these are 2 of them, I think, were 6-month open issues, and 1 had been open for a while. But they look to be making progress on this release. So we will see. There's still plenty of time. There are 24 important soon issues as well. So that's an okay number. We're fine with that. So in terms of open PRs, we have 53. That's up only 1 from last week. 1 critical soon PR was opened, and we have a good chunk of important soon PRs, but it's too early for us to start pinging those yet. So 31 important soon PRs are open. And our total number of open KK issues for 1.17 is 72, and is the same number we had last week. So this week we're going to start pinging stale issues and PRs. And everything is looking great. So I've got nothing else to update you on.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Anyone has any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, sounds good. So docs. Who's on for docs? Damni.
Hey, yes, I'm on call, yeah. So before I give update, I would like to introduce one of our shadow today. So Irvi, if you're on call, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, My name is Irvi. I'm a shadow in current release teams in docs. So I hope we can work with each other. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, Irvi. Thank you. We had our first team meeting last week. Then we gone through some of the important tasks which we need to keep a track, and also had a look at the timeline for docs. And then we had a question, open question regarding the timeline. So the current timeline for the documentation is we have to get a placeholder docs PR by November 8th. That is close to 3.5 weeks after the enhancement deadline. And immediately we have another deadline on November 19th saying all the docs PR should be ready for review. That is around 10 days after creating the placeholder PR. And the third deadline is on November 22nd, where all the docs pull requests should be ready to get merged. So looking at this timeline, we had a question saying we have a KubeCon NA happening from 18th to 21st, right? So, and as you all know, at the end of the deadline, we'll be getting a lot of we need to do a lot of follow-ups with the owners and try to get the pull request PRs in. So I want to just make sure that we are on the correct timeline if you are okay with it, because we have KubeCon NA and then there'll be a lot of follow-ups happening. So want to make sure if we are okay with the deadline or if we can change the dates accordingly. Yeah.
Okay, so Win, I think may have maybe interest on checking on all that as well. The other big thing, could you please add all the deadlines that you mentioned, all the important information to the docs to the notes for this meeting, please?
Sure, I will update it now, and then maybe I'll follow up. Or yeah, sure, I'll update it.
They're also on the README for the 117 cycle. There was a question about the docs ready deadline that had come up, I believe maybe a week and a half ago or so, where there was a different deadline between the TLDR and the actual full timeline.
Yes.
I believe the earlier one was the one that was decided later, but I think we settled on the later one. I'm not sure what the background was. We should probably go back to that PR and confirm, because it sounds like the reason that we made it earlier is coming up again. So.
Yes, probably because it was around November 15th, the second deadline, and then we got fixed to the 19th one. So maybe, yeah, probably we should do that. And yeah, sure.
So I'll leave it for the lead team to determine, and y'all should sync up with Gwen.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, sounds
That's
good.
all from my side.
Okay, thank you very much. So a couple of things to do from there, and also welcome Irvi before I forget. So before we move on, anyone has any comments, questions on docs? Okay, release notes update. Eddie or Bridget, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think Eddie wanted to do it, and I'm just not positive if he was able to make it. So going once, going twice for Eddie.
Floors are all yours, I guess.
Okay. So we're in pretty good shape right now. We do have a pull request that the 821 that it looks like it's possible it just doesn't have the right labels. So if somebody who can merge that would take a look at it, that would be fantastic. And then we have an issue open that Eddie opened to collect known issues for this release. So, and we've just started working on, adding releases to the website and past releases and patch releases. Say that 3 times fast. So, and I am a shadow on the team. Our lead is celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving. So he's hopefully eating lots of, turkey that says a boot. Other than that, hopefully we can get SIG release 821 looked at. And other than that, I've got nothing else. We're in pretty good shape right now.
Okay, sounds good. We'll make sure that 821 gets some eyes and try to move it forward. Comms. Thank you. Yeah. Comms. David, any updates?
Yeah, all good over here. We've been working with enhancements. We've got a list of features to keep an eye on to try and identify the major items or major themes for the release. All of our fun work will start in the next week or two. So green for the moment and all good.
Okay. So is there anything that you all need, or are things okay?
Nope, nothing at the moment. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Anyone has any comments, questions, concerns? Going once, twice, and thank you very much. Now, release branch management. Steven.
Hey, so nothing too exciting going on. We will be cutting the Alpha 2 on tomorrow. Tomorrow, as well as a slew of other releases across a bunch of patch releases. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be making some. I have made some changes, but I haven't pushed them out just yet. I'm going to be making some changes to the Kate's Cloud Builder image. I noticed that it hasn't been updated since like September 2018, so probably time for an update. On the release engineering call immediately prior to this, I was talking a little bit about how the image building process and image pushing process is handled, because we didn't have a process around that before. We had made updates to this image, but we're not updating that image. So I had pushed a new one, but I removed it because we're about to cut a bunch of releases and I don't want to risk that just yet. But for the next alpha, I'll push the new image. And the only thing I would mention is just watch for any weirdness during the staging or releasing processes. So for the Alpha 2 that's happening tomorrow, Carlos will be cutting that. Carlos is kind of my shadow for the cycle. So we'll make sure he has access to all the things he needs. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Any questions for branch management? I don't see any. So Emeritus Lead, I see no update, but maybe just say hi or something. Do you have anything, Claire?
Actually, don't see Claire on the call.
Yeah, I was just checking, but I guess things are okay. No updates. So release lead update. I guess it's me, and my name is in there. So the things that I have for right now is next coming milestone, as we already mentioned. Tomorrow, end of day Pacific, we have enhancements freeze. So if any of you are reviewers, approvers, or are working on any features, please look over your caps. Make sure that things are in order. Other than that, I wasn't told of anything that Wayne didn't mention anything or anything specific that I should mention in today's call. So I guess that's it. And unless someone has any more questions or comments, we can move on to the 6 scalability update. So questions, comments? Okay. And for scalability, I don't see Matt, but if you're there, please scream, yell. Nothing. So I was taking a brief look at this one a little while ago, and one of the issues that is being mentioned here is related to a bunch of failures on one of their jobs because of Boscos. But also this morning, I saw a message popping on testing ops on Slack, and the failures are coming back. So hopefully CI signal and the testing people will have this one control. The other update is GCE 5K performance. It has had some tracing failures over the weekend, but they were testing for related, so I guess nothing to worry on the Kubernetes side of things. And with that, let's move on to open discussion. Anyone has anything that you all want to talk about? Anything not in the agenda? Going once? Twice?
Yeah, wait. Don't
Yeah,
go.
go for it.
So I want to make sure that everyone is aware. If you were assigned to issues, please try to look at them, work through them during the cycle. If you can't, feel free to find someone who is a more appropriate assignee for those issues, for those PR reviews. We have it's not a problem, but as we move from release team to release team, there's the need to essentially transfer the issues from the old release team to the new ones, right? So you may notice issues that are in, whether it be Kubernetes release or Kubernetes SIG release, that are assigned to essentially your former selves, right? The leads of the previous release team. If you see there's no action on those issues, please take it upon yourself to take that up, right? To ping them and see if they're still working on it, and if not, to pick those issues up, right? As well, we should be trying to walk the release team board during these meetings. So we do have quite a bit of time. I don't know if you want to go through that, George. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get the board. So, GitHub. Let's see, the board is a release team, right?
Yep. I think it's project 28 or something.
29, very close.
29, so close, so close.
Okay, let me start sharing screen and let's go through this one. So share screen, awesome. Okay, so can y'all see my screen? Okay, so I see some heads nodding, so I'm gonna take that as a positive.
So let's hit add cards and just make sure there's nothing new that's come in.
Add cards. Let me move something. So okay, so anything new? Is there something in particular that we should be looking at?
Things that are release team related that are tagged as so is open, and then add the area label area / release team, release - team. Yeah.
Let's see.
Results. Repo : *.
That's good, I guess.
All right, cool. Yeah, so everything's on the board.
I didn't know the trick. So let's go through this. So review so added first release, no draft, review in progress. That sounds good. Let's move to in progress. So investigate automation to facilitate tracking spreadsheet. Who has this one?
That is me and Josiah. And that is still actively being worked on.
Okay, sweet. So let's leave it in there. Umbrella 116 retrospective action items.
So everyone should be taking a look at this issue and seeing if it refers to something that they own already. I will try to backlink each of some of these already have issues or PRs open for. So I'll try to do some investigation and tie them together. But if one of these look like you, then just drop a note on this issue. What I want, the reason I open this is what I'd like to do moving forward is, I think towards the end of the cycle, we look at the retrospective sheet from the previous cycle and go, oh wow, those are things that did we do them? Did we not do them? Let's talk about them. And it kind of there's a snowball effect of the things from the previous cycle that may have had AIs that we hadn't checked from the retrospective sheet of the previous cycle. So this tracking issue is essentially open so that we can draw down on each of those issues.
Okay, sounds good, makes sense. And we'll also go through this issue and try to ping people, and link the appropriate PRs that to try to clean this up and get it going. And other than that, I can think of anything else right now. So next one, document Kubernetes release team membership criteria. I vaguely remember Lackey working on it. What's the latest? Lackey, are you there?
He's not on, it looks like.
I saw him on the call earlier, but he might have moved away. I can ping him and ask him to look at this again.
So
He snuck away. He knew this one was coming up.
So what's the latest? So 28 days ago, this was moved to in progress. So yeah, I guess we can ping him right now. So like you got any updates, and is there anything else? Let's move it on to the next milestone. Okay, so that's that. Document process criteria by which we decide that informing failures are tolerable. So I've been pushing around this one with the current CA signal team. I guess, what is this, PR? Let's see. Okay, so another issue. So yeah, been bouncing this one with the SIG release team. We'll work on getting this right up. Proposal, shadow halo process. I don't even remember this one.
So this is another one that's unlocky. Essentially, what it is there are people who are on the release team and then they leave, and we want to see if there's we should codify a process for bringing people back onto the release team if they want to be on the release team, without having to, oh well, you have to serve X amount of times as a shadow or do this. They should have some emeritus status granted in some way, right? Have that count towards, yeah.
That's awesome. So let's ping Blackie again. Any updates on this? And let's move it on to the current milestone. So that's that. Backporting fixes and defining exceptions for non-supported releases. Help wanted. And I see all the cool people working on this one.
I was like, uh-oh, that sounds like a me one.
Is it still help wanted?
Scroll up. Yeah, this is not help wanted actually. This is assigned, so we should pull that label. Yeah.
I think I can do the magic.
Yeah,
now.
you can do it.
Because I don't remember the prompt command. So okay, awesome. So and you're all working on this one, right?
We're not, but I think we're further along than we were before in understanding what we want to do around it. It's really about like, okay, well, CI still exists for a certain amount of time for the last supported release. So at what point should we turn down CI? At what point, what kind of fixes are we still, would we still consider merging into those branches? Yeah. And they're honestly, the answer is just super critical ones, right? If they're security vulnerabilities or something, they're introduced in a release that we still support, then we should cut one more. But we just need to codify that and put it somewhere. So.
Okay, sounds good. So other than that, I'm just gonna move it to the milestone. Is there any other comment that y'all should that we should put in this?
That should be fine.
Okay. So next one. Okay, so backporting fixes, the finance. We just went through that one. Adjusting PR boilerplate and labels to improve release notes user experience. Who has this?
So we've had more, maybe 4 or 5 PRs come through for this. in various fashions from, I think, Sasha as well as Paul. We're close. I think there are 2 more that are open. One around deprecations and something else. My suggestion is to have a kind deprecation label, and instead of adding another field that's like a release notes deprecation warning field, instead the tool would look at whether or not the label is kind deprecation and make a determination on that. But we just keep the old release notes field. So like less, I think it's less confusing, and like we've been adding more and more things to the template, and you know, I already noticed that depending on who's doing the PR, they may not add like the additional documentation. I don't want to add another field that won't get filled out. So I just need time to write that up somewhere and propose the label.
Okay, makes sense. So current milestone. Implement release blocking job criteria. So this one is a umbrella PR for all the other for the release inform for the flakiness criteria and all the other documentation pertaining CI signal. So I guess technically this one is a work in progress. Add information about what qualifies for a milestone. I believe this is assigned to Jeffy. And what's the latest? So September 11th. So we are bringing this from the 116, and I guess since this is assigned to Jiffy, just ping.
What is that one? Okay, yeah, I think Jeff might have a PR open for that already, maybe?
No, add more milestones into release that.
Yeah. And this is also one I'm on the hook to review.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'll get to that one today. So it should be simple.
Okay, sweet. So just gonna move the milestone then. And then we can revisit this one after the PR gets handled. And that's it for in progress. We have some time, I believe, to go through to do. So try splitting release schedule out of a release lead playbook. I remember this being mentioned at some point. Actually we mentioned this one last meeting. So what's the latest? 116, cleanup. Okay. So I'll just move it to the current milestone. This doesn't sound too complicated, so we can get it sometime soon. And decide on procedure for jobs entering and leaving blocking. This has also been a thing that I've been talking with the release CI signal team. And yeah, this is a proposal. So I guess this one is kind of this one is a little bit on me to just pass it on to the CI signal and talk it over with the rest of the SIG release to see what we have in here, whatever we can do to get more tests, to get more people to on test and to take care of them. So I'm just gonna move it to the milestone, and we'll try to get this moving with CI signal. Somebody else wants to join, please feel free to do so. And backlog, handling the exceptions YAML files.
There's no filter on this. That's really everything. Wow.
Yeah, so let's see. Milestone 117.
Yeah, so the question I had last time was, do we even need this issue? Like, what do we want to, it's still the same question from when I opened it, was like, we have this YAML file, we want to do something with it. Like, what is that?
Mhm.
Right? If we find, because this has been open for a bit, and if we find that like it's not generally useful to have it, then maybe we remove it, or maybe we just close the issue, right? Like ideally it's YAML, so we should process it with some machine and do foo. What is that foo? If there's no foo to do, let's just close it.
You made a rhyme there, by the way.
The foo that you do.
Awesome. So I guess this one is a good one. This one should be simple to actually follow up on. But let's get. Does somebody want to own it for right now?
Yeah, Bob. Maybe you or someone on your team. You want to take that away from me?
Sure. I can say right now it's not really useful. Eventually, if we, when we get to more automation, it'll be useful then.
Okay, cool. And unassign me as well, George.
Yes.
Thank you.
And do you want me to move it to somewhere, to do in progress?
Leave it on the backlog and leave it for 117. That should be fine.
Okay, sweet. And I guess that's the board for today. Are there any last comments, questions, concerns that anyone has? Okay, I don't see anything. So I guess with that, let's end it. 40 minutes back to your day. And thank you very much for everyone being so patient with me, figuring this out. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for running the meeting, George.
Thank you.
George, you did an awesome job.
You are
Later, everyone.
Thank you. Have a happy Monday. Bye-bye.